Alright, so this is going to be a video about Apple and their developer agreements, which still suck in my opinion. And they still are strict and they don't allow people to do what they want and make the apps that they want. And what am I talking about? F.lux for iOS is an app and it's spelled F.lux. I've used it for years on Windows and for Android quite some time. It changes your screen brightness towards the nighttime to a reddish color, and after a couple weeks of using it, you don't notice the app. You don't notice the screen color changing, and it really does work. It helps you sleep a lot, and it helps your eyesight. If you don't have the greatest eyesight, it can help with that too. And I honestly love this app. I've used it for a long time, and I know that it wasn't. I believe you could get with a jailbreak for quite some time, and you used to be able to get it on the App Store, I believe, but and it also was available through side loading. And Apple has now told Flux that you can't. It violates their developer agreements, which Apple really needs to update their developer agreements. This is one of the most used Android apps, and if you play on your phone a lot at night or your tablet a lot at night, this app really helped you a lot. If you got a headache doing it before, this app really was helpful, and I used it quite a bit. And one thing a problem I have with this app is, or a problem I have with Apple is, if you can get this on the Mac, why can't you get it on the iPhone? If Apple really wants iOS to take over OS 10 with the iPad Pro, you need more stuff like this, Apple. Mobile versions of Facebook and mobile Safari aren't gonna cut it. All right, you need some stuff like if I can get this on a Mac, I should be able to get this on an iPad Pro. Because concerning the iPad Pro is supposed to take over Apple computers or replace them, as they're saying. But another problem I'm really having is Apple should really just add if you really don't want this app out there, you should just add something like this into iOS as stock iOS. The problem I have with iOS is too much limitations like this. Every so often, Apple will add more features that Android had already, and I'll be like, hey, maybe that could convince me to get an iPhone. And I think the iPhone's great for what it can do, but when they add stuff like that, every so often when I see an article like this where Apple's still stuck in 2005 or whenever the iPhone came out, not allowing people to do what they want with their phones, even though Android could do this since day one of 2008 or whatever. This stuff just bothers the fuck out of me. And Apple, if you add this into iOS in the next version, I'm Flux developers are gonna be pretty mad too because they right as they were told not to put this app on there, Apple's saying, you know what, fuck this, get rid of this app. And the problem I have with the app is there was a download page on iOS where you could get it on there, and there is many ways to sideload apps onto the iPhone, I believe, but it's not as simple as Android's process of doing it, which you just open a folder and press the install APK thing. Basically here, this really bothers me, and Apple, considering how many people use this app, 15 million people I believe use it. I read, yeah, 15 million users for the Mac, and just for the Mac, Windows is probably even more than that, and there is Android versions of this app. So showing that really is going to bother people, and what do I gotta say, Apple? I think it's 2015 now, and if you want the iPhone to take over the computer, and if you really want the iPad Pro to take off, you gotta fix things like this. Allow people to use desktop or apps that you would be able to get on a desktop for the iPhone. That's the only problem I have is Apple still thinks people want to use mobile apps like Angry Birds and shit on their phone. They want to be able to use more apps like this, and I use this app. The main reason this app may not matter to you a lot, but I used this app for years now, and really improved my sleep and how I work and all, and it's kind of bothering me that they're not allowing you to change this. That's all I really have to say. And what do you think of this? Do you think Apple should add something like this into iOS, or do you think they should just fix their developer agreements and allow more apps like this to be on the store. That's all I really have to say, and bye.